This is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by my good friend Sam Jones. Sam, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, Danny. How are you, mate?
I'm good. You're looking great, I've got to say. Looking in full health.
Yeah, I've lost a little bit of weight, Danny. A little bit of weight. We're taking the pounds. I've not even been to the gym yet. We've not even started going to the gym yet. Back in the gym probably Monday, but the diet's good, mate. The diet is good. We're laying off the cakes. The hamster cheeks are just starting to come down, ready for summer, mate.
You are no doubt inspired by the weekend's action with Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. I'm sure that's whipped you into some sort of shape. But overall, I've seen some of your tweets about it. But what did you make of the fight as it turned out?
Mate, I enjoyed the whole thing, Danny. I'll be honest with you, I did. I'm not gonna just. Oh, it was terrible. It was two novices, one being a much more technically sound than the other one, but two novices putting it all on the line in an 8-rounder. I thought fair play. I thought it was a good spectacle. I thought the Saudis delivered a great show, and I thought the two boys went at it the best they could, and I thought it was good.
I agree. I thought it was a lot of fun. What did you make of some of the criticism, though, particularly from former pros and current pros? Carl Froch being the best example, as he was on the BT broadcast.
Danny, I've got to be honest with you, right? And Carl Froch is a Red Dog, by the way. He's a Forest fan. So this is coming from me, yeah. Carl Froch is the funniest person. He is the funniest man in the boxing circuit. He really is. Like, his dry humor is I don't. It's not for everyone, but I just find him hilarious. Even when he's not on air. When he's on air, he's hilarious as well. Just the way he speaks about stuff and the way how he delivers it, like, it's so funny. I would absolutely love to see Carl Froch fight Jake Paul. I would, mate. I'm just being honest with you, mate. I would love to see. I think it'd be so funny to see Froch come back just one more time, and the build up alone would be absolutely hilarious.
But he said afterwards, Jake got obliterated.
Yeah, he did.
It's quite a competitive fight.
Now, this is what he does, Danny. I mean, have you watched that podcast when he's literally next to George Groves and he goes, "When I hit you on the chin, on the mandible section of the cranium, rendering you unconscious temporarily." Like, just he's the way he delivers stuff. Like, Jake Paul didn't get obliterated. He didn't get obliterated. He just got soundly outpointed by someone who knows how to box. That's the best way of breaking it down. I'm not an expert, Danny. I like what I try and make out. When people ask me for my opinions, I apologize for the people that don't particularly like me, but I am approached to give my opinion. My opinion of this is, it's not a hard fight to break down. It really isn't. It's not like, you don't have to be an ex-pro to break it down. You don't have to have been in the ring to have break this down. It's just the man who knows how to box, who had the better skill set, beat the man that didn't have a great skill set. But Jake Paul, as I've always said, he can fight. He's knocked out Tyrone Woodley, who's been a UFC world champion, who fights for a living. I know it's not stand up, and I know it's not just using your arms. Jake Paul knows how to fight. He knows how to punch. He didn't look like pathetic in there at all. He looked like somebody who belonged in that ring with Tommy Fury, but just didn't have the ability to really put much of a dent in Tommy. Yeah, he put him on the floor, which can happen. We've seen journeymen put over top professionals and then go on to do great things. Like, it happens. Tommy's learning fight just happened to be on pay-per-view in front of the whole world, not at York Hall. Do you understand what I mean? I thought it was great. And listen, this should basically say to younger fighters as well that, look, this is what should be happening, really. Two young fighters that have had 7 or 8 fights. Let's go. See who the best is. And I will use it as an example. Azim against Dalton Smith, 2 fighters, 2 young fighters. They both had an even amount of fights. Fight for the British title and put it on the line. And you'll both get huge publicity from it. The same way Dillian White and AJ did, the same way Joyce Dubois did, James DeGale, Groves. Right. They all went on to have great careers. Look at Dubois now. Everyone's. All I'm saying is that boxing needs to do better, because Jake Paul has brought that audience in. Whether they're going to stick around and watch an 8-rounder at York Hall next week. Who knows? But I think it's a good opportunity if they do the rematch, which I believe they will because of the money. So before all these dickheads say, all right, why is he promoting a rematch? I'm just saying there is a rematch clause in the contract. If the fight happens again, which it probably will, hopefully Frank's got a tremendous young stable of boxers and Frank gets more of a say on the undercard and he can put on Henry Turner, Hamza Shiraz. He can put on his young stable of fighters, Dennis McCann. And all of those fighters can then benefit from the YouTube social media light, and it helps boxing. That's what I would like to personally see. That's what benefits boxing. But going back to the actual event, Danny, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie, I had a big fight feel about it. I was very nervous for Tommy Fury when he was walking to the ring because I know how much pressure he was under. And that's why I said when I got attacked on people like, no, why should you give Tommy Fury credit? He beat a YouTuber. Mate, the pressure that young guy was under was immense. Absolutely immense. His surname's Fury. He's an actual somebody who said he wants to have a boxing career, and he's fighting against someone who can fight, not the best, but he can fight. All the pressure was on Tommy Fury. No matter what happened to Jake Paul, Jake Paul's still got 100 million in the bank, whatever he's got. Tommy Fury's name is for it. Like he would have struggled, like we said, Danny, to go to a boxing show because he'd get laughed at. So I'm very, very happy Tommy won. I was certain he was going to win. I thought it'd be a bit more conclusive in the way I thought he would knock him out. But I do think in the rematch he'd go through him. But that's another chat. And I'm waffling on. But I'm getting out what I
unlike you, mate.
I know it's very, very unlike me. But you have asked me for my opinion, and that's my opinion on the whole scenario, Danny. I just think that boxing can benefit, especially in the rematch. Boxing can benefit, especially if it's a Queensbury promotion show. I know it will be a co-promotion with Jake's promotion. And listen, it might end up in Saudi, but let's hope a couple of Frank's kids can get on the undercard and they can have a bit of spotlight.
Now, Tommy had said in the build-up that because he didn't regard Jake Paul as a real boxer, he wouldn't even celebrate. Yeah, but he said he wouldn't even celebrate if he won. Obviously, he some people would say over-celebrated considering the occasion and stuff. He was in tears. He was clearly very moved by by his victory. Was that just the kind of the pressure leaving him, the coming off his shoulders, the burden?
Danny, you know the answer to that question. You're not an idiot.
Thanks, mate.
2 million in the bank. 2 million in the bank for an 8-rounder against a novice. Yeah, that's one bit of celebration. I would go mental about that alone. I'd be streaking and jumping and taking my clothes off and flipping. Mate, you'd go. Listen, 2 million in the bank from a YouTuber and secure the rematch clause where you'll get the bigger chunk. It's a huge night for Tommy. Yeah, the pressure alone. He's been away from his newborn baby, away from his missus. Again, his surname's Fury. All the pressure was on Tommy Fury's shoulders. And I genuinely believe that was more of a, oh my God, thank God for that.
Relief, yeah.
You know what social media is like, Danny? I've been on the other end of it. You have as well. It's relentless. You get DMs, oh, you piece of shit, you dick. Can you imagine? Tommy Fury's got a way bigger following than me. Can you imagine the DMs that guy would have been getting? You shit, you're not a Fury, you're going to get knocked out by a YouTuber. And I'm talking every day, because you know how these trolls are, these proper losers, the proper loser trolls that don't have anything going in their life. All they care about is making someone's life a misery. They'd be annihilating him, absolutely annihilating him. And all that was, in my opinion, was a big sigh of relief.
How did you score the fight?
I gave Jake Paul 2 rounds. I gave him round 3, possibly, but it wasn't clear. I still think that could have gone to Tommy's way. And I scored him the one he knocked Tommy down in. Again, they can say it's a 10-8 round, but I think Tommy clawed it back, so I think it was a 10-9 round. So I think I gave Jake Paul 2 rounds at the absolute most. And again, the fight, for me, in my opinion, wasn't hard to score. Wasn't hard to commentate on. I thought the commentary was very poor, if I'm honest with you. I thought it was very, very poor. I thought Sean Porter's, again, who I respect greatly, great fighter and a great person as well. I've met him many times. Great guy. His card was atrocious. I can't quite process. But anybody that thinks Jake Paul won that fight, you don't know it. You're either been told what to say. I won't say the old brown envelope. I'll just say you've been told what to say, because other than that, you don't know anything about boxing, and you don't belong you don't need to be giving your opinion about boxing if you think Jake Paul won that fight, because no, he didn't.
I think Sean Porter, didn't he have it even after 6 rounds and they were all
Yeah,
laughing
bollocks,
at him?
Danny, bollocks, mate. It was total. But I was rubbing my eyes. Even listen, Richie Woodhall is someone I respect greatly. But when Richie Woodhall said, I think it was round, it was a convinced Tommy. Literally, Tommy was unloading shots on him. Jake, I think, landed a couple of jabs and snapped Tommy's head back. But Tommy was proper filling him in one round. And Richie Woodhall goes, "That was a pretty even round." I'm like, even round, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
I
Like,
remember that.
you're watching the same thing as all of us here, like in HD, and you're saying that wasn't even like bollocks.
I
Absolute
think Richie
bollocks.
kind of, to defend him a little bit, I think he kind of understood the assignment. I think he knew what he was watching, but at the same time, he wanted to keep people interested and make it seem maybe a bit
I
more
get that,
competitive than it was.
Danny, but I don't like hearing stuff like that. I like honest commentary. I don't care if you're being paid by the home promoter. Like, the fans respect honesty, yeah, when it comes to commentary, yeah. We're all entitled to our opinions. My opinion might not be right. It might not be right. Like, but we can't listen. It was bollocks. Honestly, I just can't get stressed how much it was bollocks. And when the scorecards got read out, Danny, I just thought, oh my god, they're not going to try and
The
job him
first
here.
one, yeah.
They're not going to try and job him here, especially with the pressure that's on his shoulders. I mean, even a draw, that would be a disgrace. A disgrace. He won the fight comfortable. And like, some fights are like, they're not hard to score. That wasn't hard to score, in my opinion. You could potentially give Jake Paul round 3. You can give him the round that he put Tommy on the floor. But that's it. Maximum.
What did you make of the referee? Because not only did he take a point off each in an 8-rounder, he just seemed to look down on the fight a little bit, considering he was involved in it.
He was pathetic. The referee wanted to have his moment. Like, he was like, I tweeted about it, Danny. I said, this guy definitely subscribes to Twitter Blue. 100% this referee does, because he wanted it to be all about him. It was annoying me. It was like a low-level performance of Joe Cortez when Ricky Hatton boxed Floyd Mayweather. Wanted the whole attention on him. And the fight wasn't a dirty fight, by the way. It was a very clean fight, I thought. Yeah, a couple of shots to the back of the head, but that happens in every contest.
Yeah.
The round 1 was a bit bear huggy, a bit messy. But other than that, the fight was fought very professionally by both of them, to be honest. I thought they both conducted themselves very well in the ring. I thought it was a pretty clean fight, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought the ref was shocking. To put it more bluntly, shit.
And we look to the future, and as you said, there very likely will be a rematch. Too much money on the table for there not to be. What can change in the interim? Like, Jake Paul's obviously not been in the sport long. Presumably, he can still improve a bit more. But Tommy, without the pressure of the first fight, won't he perform better also?
That's what I just said to you, Danny, a minute ago. I think Tommy would stop him very early as well in the next rounds. I think Tommy will think, I felt his power. Yeah, he can probably hit a little bit, but I can work a bit more on the inside this time. And I think Tommy will just go through him with feelings. Because remember, they were both 2 very nervous young men in that fight. Tommy can... I could see straight through what Tommy was like. Tommy was like smiling and stuff. But underneath that, they were both shaking like shitting dogs. They really were. They were both
one of
nervous.
My favourite analogies, yeah.
Yeah, they were, mate. They were both shaking. They were both like nervous. And listen, they're both 2 young guys with limited experience. Just again, the one with the boxing, the basic fundamentals of boxing won the fight. Do you understand what I mean? He won the fight, and that's what it came down to. I think the next fight, both of them will probably. It might make it a better fight next. It might make it a better fight because they both kind of felt each other's power. Jake probably thinks, yeah, Tommy can hit, but it's nothing I've never felt before. And Tommy's thinking he can, but I think you'll get a better fight. But I think you'll get a definite KO win from Tommy Fury. That's just my opinion in the second round. But if I'm advising Jake Paul, stay in the influencer world. Stay in the influencer world. Sell out stadiums against KSI. And even Tommy Fury, I'd be inclined to tell Tommy, go and make a fortune in the influencer world, mate. Go and stay in the influencer world. Fight KSI. Do a round robin with like all of you, like with KSI, Jake Paul, and Logan Paul. If he comes and puts his mate, you'll make a fortune. Like, why do you want it? That's what I would do if I was advising both of them.
And on that note, Tommy Fury, as we've said, very unlikely to go back down to the level he would be fighting at in traditional boxing because of the money involved. But
Yeah, yeah.
if he did, Central Area Champion light heavyweight is Mickey Ellison. English Champion light heavyweight is Joel McIntyre. Do you give Fury much of a chance against either of those guys right now?
We don't know right now. Right now, you can't really say, Danny. You can't really say because I don't know this experience Tommy has over everyone now. Because remember, Tommy's experience, Tommy will have learnt so much from that whole experience. Because yes, he's been around his brother, so he knows what it's like. But the pressure hasn't been on him. He's been around it. You understand what I mean? He's been around it, but he's not had it on him. This pressure was solely on him this time. It wasn't his brother wasn't in the ring. It was just him. So I think he's got that kind of that on everybody else, especially the Central Area Champion and stuff. But it depends what his ambitions are, Danny. It's like if Tommy thinks, you know what, I want to do something for myself to prove to myself, because it's not going to be about money. It's not going to be about money anymore for Tommy. Like with the if he goes the professional, that the real boxing route. No disrespect, the traditional real boxing route. It's a hard call for him. But if I'm his dad or something like that, I'd be saying, listen, Tommy, go and fight KSI at Wembley or something like that. And for all these idiots that say, oh, no, he can't fight this. Let me tell you that these type of fights sell stadiums out because of the social media interest on the other side. Tommy's now got probably both of those audiences, and Tommy's going to be a massive name. And imagine if Tommy goes down the traditional route. Now, he's got such a target on his back. He has got such a target on his back. Every man and his dog will want to fight Tommy Fury now.
Yeah, I mean, that is a concern. And also for the money, I mean, to take a challenging fight against a motivated opponent for what?
Why is he going to do
$5,000 or whatever?
Like, is he going to really go and fight for the Central Area title for 20 grand when he can fight Jake Paul in a rematch for 3.5 million, KSI for millions at a stadium? He's not. I don't see it personally. I don't see it personally. I think, and the way I'll put it is it's going to be very hard to top that night that Tommy's just had. Like, as in feeling wise, WBC belt, yes, before all these absolute idiots weigh in on me. I don't agree with it, but I'm saying what the facts are. He's got a WBC round his shoulder. He's just had a newborn baby. He's just beaten Jake Paul, an internet sensation, in front of Iron Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Ronaldo sipping on fucking Voss water in his box. That night, is it really going to be better than that for him? Do you understand what I mean? Is he going to get better in his professional boxing career? I'm not so sure. I'm not going to say he's not, but if I was predicting the future, I would probably say no. So go and have a Wembley showdown with KSI or someone like that. That's what it's almost a no-brainer in my personal opinion. I don't know, Donny. Maybe listen, man, I'm spouting on here, but like I'm just giving my honest breakdown of everything.
And just before I let you go, getting it back to traditional boxing a little bit, there's a show this weekend in Newcastle. Main event is Lewis Ritson and O'Hara Davies. Now, it's not going to get the publicity of Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, but it's a good fight, yeah.
Mate, great fight. Looking forward to it. I don't know who I think is going to win the fight either, to be honest with you, because Lewis Ritson has looked better in his last performances. I remember going to the fight where he lost to Ponce. Was it Ponce in Newcastle? Yeah. I think that was the last ever Sky show, wasn't it? It was Eddie's last ever Sky show, and that was a real setback for Lewis. But he seems to have got back to his big strong jab. He's got a great jab, Lewis Ritson. But O'Hara Davies is coming into this full of confidence. They both don't like each other. Mate, it's a really good fight. It's a really, really good fight, and I believe it's a final eliminator as well. So, mate, there's huge things on the line for both of them. What I will say is that both of them have aspirations to challenge or win a world title, right? I genuinely think, even though O'Hara's still like, neither of them are old, by the way, but I think this is probably last chance at the world level for both of them. So this is so important. This is really, really so important. And as I say, may the best man win. Because I know like people have got their issues with O'Hara, but I really like O'Hara Davies. I've always got him. He's a mate of mine. And Lewis Ritson's a lovely, lovely man. So may the best man win.
Good stuff. Sam, always appreciate your time, mate. And hope we catch up again soon, maybe in person for once.
In person, mate, in person. Because you know when people see these, they're just like, oh, look at this fucking dickhead giving his opinion on everything.
What do they say about you?
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, so I need to start to we need to have one in person, Danny. We need to have one in person.
All right, let's do it. Mate, take care and I'll speak to you soon.